Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to like, work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad.
Officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
I don't know. Maybe this could be the reason why Tank said he want to leave boxing. He gonna tap out, stuff like that. He still hasn't fought Devin Haney. That's not going to happen.
Gervonta Davis has finally broken his silence about retiring from boxing, revealing he's tired of the fame and constant attention. He says every word he speaks gets twisted, and people are always misunderstanding him. Davis admits he no longer feels free to be himself in the public eye. He also confessed that boxing doesn't excite him the way it once did, even calling the sport lame, which led to his decision to walk away.
And that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to like, work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad, all around, like him and Ben.
Yeah. Is it the fame? Is it something that you just don't like all the attention? Or
yeah, you start to like shy away from the attention and things like that that come with it.
Yeah, because it's like anything you do or say, it's all over the blogs. It's taken the wrong way. It's getting posted.
Yeah.
Like you can't even be yourself at this point.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, it's getting more so like lame type of thing.
The primary reason behind Gervonta Davis's retirement seems to stem from his increasing frustration with the sport and the personal struggles he's currently facing. His team revealed that he has been under immense pressure, largely due to an ongoing legal case involving the mother of his children. The uncertainty surrounding the case and its potential consequences have clearly taken a toll on him emotionally and mentally. According to those close to Davis, the stress has noticeably changed him, making him more distant and disconnected from boxing. All of these factors combined likely played a significant role in his decision to step away. For now.
So I'm sure by now many people have heard about the news that was broken by Rick Glazier, who stated that 5-time world champion, 3-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, 30 wins, no losses, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout. 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
With Gervonta Davis officially announcing his retirement, the boxing world has been buzzing with reactions from fans and analysts alike. The news picked up momentum after Happy Punch tweeted, "Gervonta Davis has reportedly retired from boxing after being fed up with the sport. Tank is retiring. Won't fight again is what he's telling those close to him," citing insider Rick Glazier. The sudden nature of the announcement has left many stunned, but others believe it highlights the emotional and mental burden Davis has been carrying inside and outside the ring. Blue Blood Sports TV offered a different perspective, suggesting Davis's retirement might not be permanent. According to the analyst, Davis is overwhelmed by personal and professional challenges, and this announcement could be more of a strategic move than a final decision. A key reason might be his reluctance to pursue a rematch with Lamont Roach, a fight he reportedly doesn't find worthwhile. Instead, Davis appears to be eyeing a high-profile, lucrative matchup, possibly against Jake Paul on Netflix, preferring that path over continuing under Amazon's promotion. This wouldn't be the first time Davis has used retirement talk to shape his...
Gervonta Tank Davis retiring? No. Has he told people this? Yes. But this is nothing new. I told you the Lamont Roach Jr. fight was off. It was going to take place in June. He was not happy with the way things were playing out. He wanted to get to that Jake Paul bag with Netflix. It has nothing to do with Amazon. Jake Paul is in charge in that situation. Ain't gonna put that money in Tank Davis's pocket. I told you guys this. But you guys don't believe me. You always love to say I'm tapping or hating on Tank Davis. No, just telling you what's going on behind the scenes. Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to retire. He's frustrated. He may step away from the sport of boxing for a while. But again, he was already planning to do that before the Lamont Rose Jr. draw.
Amid mixed reactions and ongoing speculation, Gervonta Davis has officially confirmed his retirement from boxing. While many suspect this may be a temporary move influenced by recent frustrations and personal struggles, Davis has stated he's stepping away for the time being. Whether this decision signals the true end of his boxing career or simply a break remains uncertain. Only time will tell what the future holds for the gifted fighter.
Tank Davis is retired? Superstar and legendary knockout artist Tank Davis has officially retired. Or so he claims. Tank Davis has had one of the hardest 18 months in boxing. See, first he just got out of prison. Then he had a fight with Lamont Roach that should have been a pushover, which afterwards he was going to negotiate a huge money fight with Jake Paul. But Lamont Roach had a great game plan and they ended up having a draw. That Lamont Roach probably should have won. It was a controversial no knockdown call. But now Gervonta Davis is once again facing jail time after some domestic abuse charges. So I really think this is temporary. He's probably just retiring for now, especially with all the legal fees this man's gonna need. Part of this is probably to avoid the Lamont Roach rematch and push that off as he can. But really, most of this is probably so he can focus on his legal issues. And then after all that is wrapped up, he's gonna get back into boxing. Boxers do fake retirements. It's just what they do. Especially after disappointing fights and during legal troubles. Tyson Fury's in the middle of a fake retirement right now. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think he's really retired for good? Let me know in the comments.
Amid widespread speculation and differing opinions, Gervonta Tank Davis has officially announced his retirement from boxing. Bleacher Report tweeted, Gervonta Davis announces he's retiring from boxing after 2025, signaling a serious decision from the undefeated champion. Davis has spoken about walking away from the sport for over a year, repeatedly citing emotional exhaustion, personal struggles, and the overwhelming pressure that comes with fame. He recently reaffirmed his stance, saying he no longer even thinks about fighting, because he doesn't feel anger anymore, a shift in mindset that has led him to step away for good. Former world champion Antonio Tarver also weighed in, voicing concern over Davis's situation. Tarver emphasized that while Davis has undeniable talent and an impressive record, personal development is just as critical for long-term success. He highlighted how many young fighters today lack strong mentorship, which leaves them vulnerable to emotional and mental challenges. Tarver expressed disappointment in seeing Davis walk away, especially when a major fight appeared to be on the horizon, and believes his struggles speak to a broader issue facing the sport of boxing today.
See you right here in New York City, man. Always showing up. Alright, so Gervonta is with IO TV. So happy to see you once again. The biggest talk, let's jump into it. Obviously, we got a good weigh in here in a moment.
Yes.
We got some good press after this. The biggest talk that just happened moments ago, Gervonta Davis, jump into it. Kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but there's this mindset. The fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently, he's gonna fight Jake Paul. Like, what's in and out of boxing right now?
Hey man, I don't know, but get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want this shit, let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you gotta win in life too before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we can face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They're not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over quick, bro. And you don't ever want to live with no regrets.
Bernard Hopkins shared his hopes for Gervonta Davis to overcome his legal challenges and urged him to prioritize his family. He emphasized the importance of repairing his relationship with the mother of his children. Hopkins also encouraged Davis to stay focused and maintain a positive outlook, suggesting that refocusing on boxing could be a constructive way to rebuild both his personal life and his professional career.
Hey, Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, first of all, good to see you, my man.
Good to see you again. Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's a lot
Our
of
second home.
I'm starting to say the same thing because I'm here
Yes,
almost
here all the time. In and
All
out,
the time.
in and out.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick.
Come on.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts.
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first, and then career second. But I just wish both his girl, ex-girl, his kid's mother, you know what I mean, to get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
You think his head, is there right now with boxing? Do you think he just needs another mentor? What does he need? Because he's a great talent.
I don't know, and I don't know very that well.
Gervonta Davis has spoken candidly about his personal goals beyond boxing, revealing a desire to become more grounded and attentive to those who matter most. He admitted that his fast-paced lifestyle and demanding career have often distanced him from his daughter and family. Now, Davis is committed to shifting his focus, showing a sincere intention to grow emotionally and strengthen his relationships. His decision to seek help and become more present reflects a deeper awareness of his priorities and what truly matters to him at this point in life.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing. Back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast. 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast in response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it though, and I'm gonna tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is, and wanting to be a softer person, for his daughters, wanting to seek therapy, become a better person, and be with his children and lead a limelight. It seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. It seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, because all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, physically, mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, an international star on top of that, and I can't even imagine that pressure. So things get old. Your whole life gets scrutinized. No matter what moves he makes, it's going to be accepted by some.
The timing of Gervonta "Tank" Davis's retirement seems closely tied to recent challenges. Just before a potential high-stakes rematch with Lamont Roach, Davis became involved in yet another legal issue. Shortly after his release, he announced his decision to walk away from boxing. His ongoing statements about being exhausted by the sport now carry a sense of finality. After years of managing heavy expectations and personal struggles, Davis appears ready to step back and find peace beyond the ring.
And the woman said that, hey, I looked at him and I asked him to help me, and he looked at me and he turned his head, jumped out of the car and ran, or whatever the case may be. So he has a history of doing things like this to women. Like facts. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a Tank Davis fan or not, you can't get around that. That's the truth. So now, what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach fight? And better yet, what's going to happen, will that fight still go on? I don't know. They haven't announced it, made an official announcement yet. We know the fight is scheduled for next month, August, but it hasn't officially been announced yet. And we do know if that fight is announced, PBC will have reporters there to tell those reporters, look, if you want to have access to Gervonta "Tank" Davis, you better not ask him certain questions. This is what goes on in the media. See, a lot of these guys, they want access to the fighters, so they have to play ball. They have to go along with the get along just so they can get access to interview the fighter. Coach Malachi, I don't give a fuck about the access. Fuck having access to to the fighter. I only fuck with those who fuck with me. If you're a fighter who fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. And then, we can do an interview. That's fine. I have no problem with it because I got love for you like that and vice versa. But if it's a fighter that don't like you or don't like me or whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck. I don't try to fit in, in the square circles. If it's a square circle, you know what I mean? If it's a square and a circle, I don't try to fit in with squares. And if you ain't in the circle, I ain't trying to get in the circle. Do you get what I'm saying? So, of course, these reporters, that's what they're going to do. So now, as it relates to Lamont Roach, what does Lamont Roach do from here?
Both commentators and fans have expressed empathy for Gervonta Davis, recognizing the immense mental and physical toll that boxing can take. Having lived under the spotlight from a young age, Davis has carried the weight of expectations for years. Many analysts believe that if his passion for the sport has faded, stepping away is not just wise but necessary. There's a shared understanding that it's better to leave the ring with dignity than to continue when you're no longer at your peak. Ultimately, supporters would rather see Davis happy and at peace than struggling in silence.
And, ridiculed by others, and some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely because we've seen this in the past. When Mike Tyson talked about his heart no longer being in it, or you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens, and we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in a ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself, I've had a great time, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retired immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. Whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, we have to respect it. And I would just say, enjoy him while he's here. Because, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.
Many boxing insiders believe this moment could mark a turning point in Gervonta Davis's life. Given the challenges surrounding him, now may be the ideal time to step back and reassess his direction. This break offers a chance for deep reflection and meaningful change, helping him prioritize his well-being and make better choices moving forward. It's a crucial opportunity to realign with his values and rebuild stability.
That's why I don't want boxing more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry. You know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I wanted to be much softer. You know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Shout out to Tank Davis saying that he's going to go to therapy because he wants to soften up for his daughters and he wants to let go of the anger. And yes, although maybe the anger served him in his boxing career, it's not currently serving him now at the moment being a father. So shout out for Tank Davis. I mean, that's a real man. A real man is willing to be gentle in a tough, cruel world, right? It doesn't take much for us to be angry in an angry world. It takes a lot of courage for us to soften up and shine our light, whereas we've been maybe in darkness our whole lives, or maybe our darkness caused success, right? So like Tank Davis obviously became successful, putting that anger towards boxing, but now he's on this next level of life and stepping into his therapy era, which I love to see. So shout out to Tank Davis for stepping into your healing era. Let's go.
Throughout his career, Gervonta Davis has dealt with several legal troubles, often managing to move forward with the help of his financial resources. However, recurring patterns suggest deeper, unresolved personal struggles. Davis has openly expressed feeling drained by everything tied to boxing. Over time, that frustration has only intensified. Now, after facing multiple setbacks, he appears convinced that stepping away from the sport is the only path left to regain peace and restore balance in his life.
And as I'm recording this, Tank has just gotten bonded out of jail, although the details of his bond have yet to come out. At this point, it seems like every couple years Tank has some sort of similar run-in with the law. His last major run-in came in December of 2022, where he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman with a closed hand type slap, although these charges were later dropped. But I'm not an expert on any of this, and I'm not really here to discuss details of a DV case. I'll let the courts do that. The question I think I can better speculate on is how this will impact his career. Now, his legal troubles in the past haven't done much to slow him down, so will this time be any different? To answer it in a single word, maybe. Now, Gervonta Davis is undeniably one of the biggest names in the sport, and because of the money he generates when he fights, really no matter what he does, it's hard for him not to find opportunity.
Although Gervonta Davis had previously hinted that 2025 would mark his final year in boxing, several exciting matchups, like a potential rematch with Lamont Roach, were still on the horizon. However, recent events and his current mindset make those fights seem unlikely. This shift has left many fans disappointed, as such bouts could have added meaningful chapters to his legacy and cemented his place in.
Gervonta Davis had his press conference. I think he turned up 4 or 5 hours late. No Calvin Ford, his trainer. No Leonard Ellaby. He turned up by himself. Then he went on to say 2025 will be his last year in the sport. He wants to get therapy, and he feels like he can't get therapy unless he leaves the sport of boxing. He's got young kids, and he wants to be the best father he can for those kids. And if he continues fighting, then the therapy won't work. Kind of made sense.
That's a wrap for today's video. Stay tuned.